Hello and welcome to another highlight episode of the Tejano Traveler. We've already gone through all the Texas Gator Country, so now I'm showing you all the highlights all in one video. We're starting off at Anahuac National Wildlife Refuge. All along the Gulf here, there's several refuges and state parks that are home to millions of different types of grasses and insects and fishes and crustaceans and birds and reptiles and mammals. And Anahuac is one of those that has them all in abundance. As you can see, it's a beautiful place to go and just look at crocodiles, alligators, and birds and cows. Then we're stopping at McFadden National Wildlife Refuge. This refuge is more of a driving park, and then you just stop wherever you want to and go crabbing or fishing and taking some of the views. As you can see, the scenery changes and then the boards start coming into play. And it's located right alongside the intracoastal waterway, so you'll see some pretty cool ships passing by along with some awesome wildlife. And there are those ships I was telling you about. They travel all through the coast from the Atlantic Ocean all the way around the Gulf of Mexico. So it's pretty cool seeing those ships. Then we're at Sea Rim State Park, where we can enjoy some of the crystal brown waters of Texas and some alligators just basking out in the sun. It's a decent beach. It was pretty windy and cold that day, so I wasn't able to get in, but there was plenty of treasure to be found. Plus, some areas are marshy and you can go and check it out. Supposedly there's alligators there, and they have a pretty awesome boardwalk that you can take. It's a nice little hike. You walk around, see some of the birds and stuff. Then there's Texas Point National Wildlife Refuge, which is not very visited. I saw nobody while I was there, but I did see this glass snake, which was kind of cool. And it's just mainly marshlands and some canals or creeks that are stuffed with alligators. Look at those alligators. Look at those cuties just bouncing around and being all alligatory and stuff. And just right next to it is the Sabine Pass Battleground State Historic Site. There's an alligator that greets you as you go. But this preserves the battle site of the Civil War battle at Sabine Pass, where Texas pretty much prevented the Union from encroaching into Texas, which is why there really wasn't any fighting done in Texas other than this place and Palmetto Hill. We'll worry about Palmetto Hill later. But you go here, you get to see some of the statues, some of the monuments erected in honor of those men that fought for the Confederacy. And it's a part of Texas, so it's important to go visit all your local historic spots to preserve them. And then you're in Port Arthur, which is a refinery town, which has some kind of real refinery, ugly areas, but some pretty cool areas too. There's a memorial to Virgen de Guadalupe, and then another one, and a Buddha, plus a fancy house where the city has its parties, and a bridge heading over to Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island sounds fun, but it's really just like an island that you drive around and people fish off of it. You also get the chance to go to the southeasternmost point in Texas, which I did. There I am. Yay, celebrating. I've been to the center of Texas, now the southeasternmost point in Texas. I feel successful. And a pretty good museum to visit while in Port Arthur is the Museum of the Gulf Coast. I spent several hours here just learning about the city and the history, and there's a lot of people who are from this area. There's Big Bopper with his friends and Janis Joplin, so definitely check it out. Its twin city is Beaumont, Texas, just about 15 miles away. You get to check out the Baby Saharias Museum, and then the world's largest fire hydrant, which is actually pretty huge. It's a working one also, so if there's a fire, it's going to be put out. You also get to check out the Fire Museum of Texas, where you get to check out a lot of the old and new fire equipment. There's a Edison Museum also in Beaumont. I'm not sure why, but it's there, and it's pretty informative. I kind of liked it. I learned a lot. And the Texas Energy Museum. I love small towns with small museums that are awesome and dedicated to something. And this one is no exception. Definitely learned a lot about energy in the area and about oil and all that stuff. But Beaumont also has its own art scene, which you can check out here at the Museum of Southeastern Texas Art. I hope I said that right. But you can see some of the cool stuff that's there. It's awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. Plus, the local area is also home to Spindletop, where it all started, all that oil spouting. And if you want to watch more birds, there's a cattail center, which has a nice little boardwalk that takes you out to see some birds. And of course, you have to have some Cajun food while you're there. And there's plenty of options, but I chose Crazy Cajun, an old favorite of mine, and Oil City, which I got my catfish fix. And of course, you have to stop at Gator Country right off of I-10. It is an awesome place to go and check out a billion zillion alligators. Look at them, all wanting just one wiener, or just resting and being all pot-bellied and stuff. But it was pretty cool seeing Big Tex, which is the biggest alligator in captivity, and its best friend, Big Al, who used to be the biggest gator in captivity. Yeah, they were pretty big. But definitely check out this place. It's fun for the whole family. And the other two state parks that are in the area are Village Creek State Park. It had been raining a lot, so there were some things that I couldn't do while I was there. But still, the hikes were fun and easy. It's filled with sloughs, which are either creeks or puddles of stagnant water, which is different. I've never really been in that environment before, and one of them sort of prevented me from continuing on the trails, and the rest was still kind of fun to go and hike around. And my last stop was Martin Dies Junior State Park, which is a true gem. Look at that. Look at all those cabins and places to camp and day picnicking areas. It was definitely one of the most beautiful parks I've seen here in Texas. And it's one of the most easternmost ones also. Plus you got to see this little tiny mud snake. The hiking there was pretty easy and pretty fun. And the scenery on the lake was beautiful. And they have this big long bridge that takes you from one island to the other. And you can come here and go kayaking. They have a paddle trail, plenty of bridges to walk across, and of course some beautiful hiking scenery. Definitely one of the top 10 parks that I've seen in the past year. Anyways, that's the Gator Country for you. I hope you like it. I hope you get to take some of it in, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye.